And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the third day of World Team League of WTL 2023 Winter Code S round number 6. And oh my god, we're just jumping right into it. And that is a very interesting image, as in the bottom right we have YoungZest, and in the top left we have Dark. And also, I'm not alone. I am joined this day, by the lovely, the beautiful, the AsherBro.
Hello. How you doing? You sound a little tired. Are you alright?
I just woke up.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Look, it's been a long weekend. Okay, we've been casting a lot. We had the turtle tussle this morning. No, we've been co-streaming. We've been covering WTL. It's
Beautiful.
StarCraft. Yeah.
Have you had some water? Had some food?
Just now. Yep. Just now. Got some food inside me.
Hey, there's more sponsors now. There was 3 last time.
Yeah.
They're growing.
Yeah.
There's I think the second one is new. It kind of looks like a Final Fantasy splash.
Yeah, you're on it, Pop. I don't know if you noticed, but there was like an anime like intro earlier. I don't know if you saw.
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't have registered to me, honestly.
Okay. Just it blended in with everything else. There's a new sponsor. It's KaiZi Star. It's basically.
Oh yeah, I know that game.
Oh,
That's
there you go.
KaiZi
some
Star,
weird
right?
game. I remember seeing fuck, who was playing it?
Quanta.
I think. Oh yeah, it was Quanta, wasn't it? Yeah.
There you go. It's a gacha game. It's like Genshin Impact sort of thing. So yeah, they're actually sponsoring WTL this season, which is interesting. I don't know if I want to get into it, but into Honkai Star. But it's really cool. It's really cool that they're sponsoring StarCraft.
Didn't one of the teams that tried to qualify have a name that had something to do with that game? Am I imagining that?
No, you're right. Oh my god.
I cannot remember what it is at all, but there's some weeb team that had some name that had something to do with that.
There are a lot of weeb teams. There was Tohu Project or something like that. Which was also based off an anime. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's another one, but that's okay. That's all right. I'll remember it later.
I'm sure there were more. Yeah. I mean, if you remember, for a while, like Team NV, they were sponsored by like an anime.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. It was Abydos, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Abydos. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's out of my head now. Have you been casting YoungZest much recently in the ASL?
We have been covering him. I think we casted YoungZest in the qualifiers. I don't know if you heard about this. YoungZest technically did qualify for ESL Masters, but he couldn't participate because he's too young, Papi. He's too young.
Oh, he's done a Max Packs, has he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's even got the same camera setup going on. We've basically just got SEA Max Packs.
Oh, true. We have the C version of Max Packs here before. So now it's all coming together. It's all making sense. Instead of a Danish prince, he's like a I guess a Chinese emperor. He's
yeah. I can roll with that.
There you go. As we're getting into our openers here as well. For a moment there, I assumed that we would be through via replays, but I guess it's just we have Dark's cam at least as we settle into the ZVP. Yeah,
looks like might just be that maybe YoungZest is too young to have the camera on.
It's possible. By the way, that's a really early Roach Warren. I think that was like a 3:30 Roach Warren timing, very early here from a Dark. And with that, I'm imagining that we're going to be making quite use of it. It looks like it has not been spotted. Roach Warren hasn't been seen. The Roaches are already on the way.
Yeah, so pretty much a standard game coming out from YoungZest so far, just very typical PvZ. Dark's being super aggressive now with these queens, just pushing away these oracles, and I think this should start to set off alarm bells for YoungZest that those queens are straying quite far from creep. They might not be intending to return.
Exactly. We have Roaches following suit as well, just zooming across the map. We do see YoungZest throwing down a shield battery at his natural base. He's throwing down shield batteries at his third stasis traps as well. He is fully aware that an all-in is coming. But can he survive? Can he hold against the wave of Zerg that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he just wants to be pumping units as much as he can, maybe even getting some more oracles. He is really light on units right now, and it looks like Dark is kind of taking advantage of just some small inefficiencies maybe in the early game.
Oh my god, you're you're going full sword me, Bobby, because you are a little bit underwater with your voice. But here we go. We're diving on forward towards that third base. A stasis trap is going to be triggered by only a handful of links. Bile's going to be connecting as well with said shield batteries, and we do have some decent amount of shield batteries, but we don't have too many units available here for YoungZest.
Yeah, there is just not much there at all. His positioning's fantastic, and those stasis traps are really good as well. But the sustain in the army of Dark could just be a bit too much.
Yeah, exactly. No creep, we cannot transfuse, bear that in mind, but the wilds are going to be connecting. The lings are slowly going down. YoungZest, can he get on top of these Ravagers here? Some of the queens are starting to fall.
Yeah, the batteries are spent now, though. As soon as those batteries do run out, those Stalkers are going to be dropping like flies. The Lynx coming in to reinforce as well, starting to get on top of the Stalkers. There are no probes left at the third, and it looks like Dark might have just done enough. It's getting pretty close, though. The Ravagers and Roaches, they are going down.
Yeah, exactly. Only one Ravager left, and the two queens remaining here for Dark. He's running out of steam, and it looks like, especially with these oracles, can we clean this up? We get another warp in of Stalks, and we will hold. Oh my god.
An insane hold from YoungZest. He had about 5, I think maybe 6 gateway units when this first hit, but it's not over just yet. He has to get that Stalker back to safety. That's some good micro from Dark to try to catch it out, and he does get it on the retreat there, but it looks like YoungZest, he has held. He is starting to get ahead on supply now. He's actually making this happen.
Yeah, he is making this work. He has survived YoungZest. He's ahead in workers. He's about to kick in with Blink and +1 as well, and he still has those oracles alive, so he's going for a big counterattack now. Do we have any queens? We just sent all of them across the map. If we don't have queens, if we don't have spores, then drones could be falling.
Yeah, it looks like 5 queens, so it's going to come down to positioning. That's something Dark's very good at. He does actually take down an Oracle despite having a few less queens here. So, yeah, you can see Dark is just so active with moving those queens around, trying to anticipate where the Oracles are going to come through.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful positioning there from Dark. As you mentioned, Oracle's going to be going down. But YoungZest is in a pretty decent position from this point. Again, we're all on 3-base saturation. We can expand and take a 4th base from here, or we could try to go all in and hit a +1 timing with these Blink Stalkers. As we do start moving out across time, we have 2 more gateways on the way behind this. I still feel like we could try to expand, though. We don't have to commit, and there we go. A 4th base is on the way.
Yeah, just as you're saying it, the 4th base goes down, and it looks like YoungZest just going to be playing this out pretty standard, pretty comfortable just from this slight lead. Dark, on the other hand, though, he is doing a pretty good job with the creep spread that's going to make it difficult for these Stalker Oracle Force to get as much damage done.
Yeah, and Dark is doing what he does best. You know, if he ever does fall behind in this matchup, what do we see? Infestation Pit, that's going to be for a Hive. We're going to throw down a Hydrogen. We're going to work towards Lunkers as well. Is the game going to go on that long? We'll see. It's going to be on Dark if he wants to be more defensive, or if he does want to try to be aggressive once again here with his Ling Road Ravager armies. He's waiting for the Stalkers to overextend and push onto creep.
Yeah, I mean, this might be a decent spot here for YoungZest, but Dark plays really well from behind. We've seen so many times games where he pretty much messes up in the early game, puts himself behind, and just makes these insane comebacks where as soon as he stabilizes and he starts to make his own chaos, the game can get away from the opponent so quickly.
It's happened so often where at this point, you know, I think we all know that he likes it from behind, Bobby. And we'll see, we'll see if he can keep this going. We have a couple of safety infestors on the way. Hive is on the way as well. I believe there is not a Hydrogen, so just Ling Road Ravager for the time being. The Stalkers have arrived, though. There's not much creep here in this at this 4th base location. We could even try and force a cancel.
Yeah, YoungZest putting some really good pressure here on this 4th, and I hope he's feeling confident, because I think that's what he needs right now. He just needs confident Stalker movement. He needs aggression. He needs to put the pressure on Dark to make a mistake.
Oh, he does, and a couple of Biles are actually going to be grazing the army here. The base itself getting very low. The Lings are running out. The Fuggles!
Yeah, massive fungal goes down on all of these Stalkers here. And YoungZest, he is suddenly in a little bit of trouble. The energy, the shields on these Stalkers getting quite low now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As we do see the Stalkers pulling back, a couple more of them are going to be going down. That hatchery is still very low. The Queens, they're coming on forward here. Dark is slightly forcing his opponent back, but we're bleeding out a lot of roaches.
Yeah, and this is where I want to see that confidence from YoungZest. I want to see him trying to get every little last bit of shields out of those Stalkers and really putting the pressure on Dark here. But he does, of course, have to worry about those infestors as well.
Exactly. You have to respect those fungal growths here as they still don't have enough energy for another fungal available to them, so we can be a little bit more adventurous, but here come Lings to reinforce, and we're forcing these Stalkers back. At the same time, though, a small Zealot run by heading towards the third base of his opponent. A couple of Stalkers as well.
Yeah, a couple small bits of pressure coming out here from YoungZest, so he is confident to try to put the pressure on Dark, anticipating that move, senses the Lings over to clean that up, but there's also a Prism going over into the main.
Oh yeah, we have the War Prism going into the main base. We are bleeding out a lot of Roaches once again because the Lynx had to go off to the left-hand side to actually defend. It does leave these Roaches vulnerable.
Yeah, that's right. There's so much going on here. Dark's being really, really active with these biles, just pushing these Stalkers back. Dark, I gotta say, he's got to be one of the best players in the world when it comes to the bile placement. He just gets so much done with Ravagers in particular.
Yeah, exactly, as we do see another Focal connecting as well. Oh no, those Stalkers, and so many of them do go down, but YoungZest still has momentum going his way. He is slowly getting ahead in army supply as well. Again, the army supply is inflated by Dark with that Roach Ravager. We can keep on pushing, and it looks like YoungZest is getting ready to go into said main base.
Yeah, getting those Zealots ready there for that drop into the main. We'll be able to go for another Warp in pretty soon as he sends that in, which he is doing now. I do have to be a little bit worried for Dark now. The pressure is on. YoungZest is starting to build up some momentum with the Stalkers.
Oh yeah, he is gaining a lot of that momentum. The Queens are in position. The Zealot army doesn't achieve anything. More Zealots, they get caught out. YoungZest being a little bit wasteful here with this army, forcing a recall even, but he gets the base.
Gets the base. That is an amazing pick off here. That was the fourth of Dark. So Dark is in some serious trouble. We can see that income being pointed out now, swinging pretty violently in the favor of YoungZest. So as long as he doesn't lose all of these Stalkers right now, he's going to be in a great spot.
Yeah, he's going to be in an amazing position here, and a lot of this is because of the failed all-in from Dark. He's stuck on 3 bases. He is double expanding, trying to get his economy back up and running, but again, he needs time right now to recover, to rebuild. Time that YoungZest is not giving him.
Yeah, YoungZest looking really good here. That big Zealot force starting to build for another drop harass, and this is where things are going to get really scary for Dark. He has to keep dealing with these Stalkers, but he can't commit all of his forces to this.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And he just doesn't have the numbers for this. He does have those infestors. You know, Fungals have a lot of potential. At the same time, we do see that Dark, he's being distracted. I believe some of those infestors were exposed, and they both go down.
Both of them go down. The Fungal was good, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. There are more Stalkers than there are Roaches and Ravagers. Looks like YoungZest recognizes that as well. Blinks on top, dodges the biles beautifully. There is just too much here, and I think he has done enough.
Oh, let's go, Bobby. The Chinese Emperor, the Chinese Max Pack's even going to be able to break on through. He gets on top of all the Ravagers as well. There's only a handful of Roaches remaining, but against these Blink Stalkers, what are they really going to do? The Oracle going ham from the early game as well. GG gets called, and YoungZest takes game number 1.
GG, very impressive. I was not expecting this to be even a close game, but YoungZest is going to be taking the lead 1-0.
He is going to be taking the lead here, and this is a real punish for Dark. You know, YoungZest obviously played incredibly well, but also Dark did put himself in that position. He did assume that, hey, who's this up-and-comer? Who the hell is this Protoss player trying to keep up with me? Let me just all-in him. Let me get game 1 done and over with. And Dark gets punished for it. GG.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, that was looking pretty promising. I feel like Dark was hoping to just walk across the map with the Queens, just be a little bit better with the micro, a little bit better with the early game up until that point, and just roll over his opponent. And he has gotten the bad news now that it is not going to be that easy. And I think we're going to be seeing full power Dark coming out for game 2.
Exactly. You know, after game number 1, Dark, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a more kind of a serious mode, you know, a more serious version of Dark coming out. I feel like the gloves are going to be off, the pants are down, and Dark is, yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, he doesn't look too amused. I think he's going to be taking this next one a lot more aggressively as here we go. We are going to be jumping straight on into it. And in the top left-hand corner, up 1-0 for Starlight Twinkle. This is YoungZest.
Oh, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have Dark for Dragon KaiZi Gaming. So, in Spanish, I know if there's like an English equivalent. You would know this, Asher. In Spanish, there's a saying where, like, if you're going toe to toe with someone, you say sin camisa, papi, sin camisa, and that's saying like with shirts off. If you're yeah, like if you're having a fight with someone, you know,
like tip to tip.
Yeah. Oh my god. Is that the equivalent?
Mano a mano.
There we go. There we go. Tip to tip, papi. Aye, aye, aye.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
fencing, just touching swords, just the
You know,
tip.
I don't think that's what I meant. I don't.
They're jostling for position.
Okay, okay. Oh my god. And as we're getting into game number 2, big shout out to Baby Leagues in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session as well. Welcome everyone. Welcome to game number 2, our first series here of WTL, and already a bit of an upset.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting too much from this one, but they're not messing around. So Starlight Twinkle taking a pretty significant lead already over Dragon KaiZi. So this is not going to be the cakewalk that I'm probably expecting.
Yeah, and I think what I love about this as well is that Starlight Twinkle, I don't know if you saw their roster today, but they're not fielding their ace players. They are fielding their ace. You know, Wayne is going to be competing today, but I don't see Nice. I don't see Cham. I'm sure a big reason for this is because they are playing in ESL Masters. They do have quite a night ahead of them, the both of them, so they're probably focusing on their individual league. So out comes the B team. You know, out comes YoungZest, who's too young to play in ESL Masters, but you know he's old enough to play in WTL.
Yeah, and I mean that's the other thing with YoungZest being so young. We might be seeing the same kind of thing that we've seen with Max Packs, with Clem, with Raynor, where these players come out where, I mean, even in the last year, we've seen YoungZest improve massively, and take some really crazy results. So I'm kind of starting to wonder what the upper limit for this player is.
Yeah, exactly. You know, how much potential does he have? We have seen him rise up through the ranks, but finally he's also been given some chances here in WTL, and we may see a more of a reoccurring nature of YoungZest here in World Team League if he does even better. Now, it is going to be an uphill battle. You know, game one, YoungZest, he obviously had a really good defense, but it was also Dark just giving him the opportunity to actually be ahead in that game. Here on Equilibrium, different story, much larger map, and we even have that goal base we can take advantage of.
Yeah, I haven't seen a huge amount of PBZs on this map, but it seems like the goal base is definitely something that plays into the strategy quite a lot, especially for the Protoss. I'm usually seeing the Protoss try to take it.
Yeah. The goal base is in a really interesting location where you can take it as a third or even a fourth as either player, you know, as either race as well. Terran, Zerg, Protoss, like it's a really natural base to take, which is what's crazy about this map, because usually I feel like goal bases are a lot more exposed and they're a lot more vulnerable, but I feel like that isn't really the case in Equilibrium. So yeah, that does actually just ramp things up, especially in the mid game.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But anyway, so far, looks like it is just once again going to be a pretty standard game. YoungZest very comfortable with these Oracle openers, but I mean, Darky's just always so on point with the Queen movement here, so there's not going to be much in terms of drone damage, or at least not yet.
Yeah, exactly. As we do see a third base being taken, Dark just vying for map control. He does get eyes on set third as well. And with that Stargate opener, the Oracle is dipping into the main base. But as you mentioned, Dark, he has some of the best queen control in the game. He's able to keep up time and time again, and so far hasn't sustained any significant damage.
Yeah, it's so funny watching these really good Zergs, the way that they move their queens around. I think they just anticipate where the Oracle comes from just because they have this like internal clock for the timing, like when it's hitting certain angles, like when that first Oracle should be roughly arriving, that it just looks like they're hacking. Like just like that. Like his queens just walk out as soon as those Oracles start moving near. It's crazy.
It's muscle memory. You know where they should be, where they should be coming from. And, sometimes some players get bamboozled like this. We do see 5 workers going down the spore a couple of seconds too late on finishing there. So YoungZest, he's finally able to get some damage done.
Yeah, I love it. You can see already just the confidence from that first win seems to be paying off for YoungZest. And, it's another thing about being young as well. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and you can feel very confident, even in positions where the opponent's quite favored.
There you go. That's a very apt way of putting it. You don't know what you don't know. And he doesn't know fear yet. Not yet. The hope inside him hasn't been just battered down by the brutal thing that is life.
Oh my god. Okay. I thought I was going to say something depressing. Fair
Smurge.
enough.
He doesn't know how to smurge yet, Papi, but he's Protoss. He never will.
There's
But
still hope in his eyes. Leave while you still can.
he's so young, Papi. Oh my god. But yeah. So far, like a good amount of damage. We have the fourth base being taken as the gold as well. Also, as we get into this very quickly, a big shout out to State. Thank you so much for the raid. Likewise, hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Thank you so much. And for those that are tuning in, welcome to WTL.
Yeah, glad to have you. And it's been really cool to see State coming back to the scene. I caught a few
Mhm,
of his streams. He's a very good player, and
mhm,
obviously his casting in GSL has been amazing. So
mhm.
thanks for the raid.
Yeah, definitely. I've been a big fan of State ever since the Pro League days when he was competing for Prime. We don't need to talk about the matches that occurred, but it was really,
That's the way it goes.
yeah. You know how it is. You know how it is.
Exposure.
True. A big shout out to State as we are getting into this. So far, the goal base being taken. Nothing too major occurring other than, of course, the harassment that has been happening here from these oracles, and Doc is just building himself back up. Getting up to that 4 base economy.
Yeah, Dark going into mutas, which I think makes a lot of sense on this map. Kind of similar to what we saw a lot of the time on Stargazers, just because there's so much dead space and because the bases naturally kind of form this linear pattern, mutas can be very effective on maps like this.
Ooh, exactly. The Spire is done. I believe the mutas have not been seen, not yet. At least the Spire hasn't been spotted, and we do see the armies clashing here in the center. So far, we haven't quite invested. We have +1 air attack now on the way. Dark is more concerned with holding, with surviving against these Stalkers.
Yeah, this is a nice pressure coming out from YoungZest though, just putting a little bit of heat on Dark, but Dark, despite going for that Spire, still has plenty to push this back, and I do think this could distract YoungZest from what's going on here.
Oh, exactly. As we do dive on these Stalkers, a good chunk of them do go down. The Oracles likewise going ham here on the ground army. Nothing does shoot up, so we're actually going to be able to target down quite a number of these Ravagers.
Yeah, Oracle's really good for that, for shooting down those Ravages, but I don't think Dark's really going to mind. I mean, the longer this goes on, the more threatened YoungZest feels, the longer it's going to take him to put together the pieces that something's missing here, and that thing that's missing is the gas with 14 meters.
Yeah, there we go. 14 meters are on the way. They're going to be zooming across them and paying for those mineral lines. And so far, completely unscouted as well. We can see that Dark, he's taking control of the Zonaga. It looks like the mutas have barely not been seen here by YoungZest at all.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move, sending those Lings over to clear up the vision on the tower as the mutas go in towards the main. Also, at the same time, pushing back the Stalkers. Man, Dark, he is playing angry. He is not messing around. He is showing right now to YoungZest that just because you got that one win does not mean you're better than me.
Yeah, exactly. Here you can see the full force of Dark being shown before us. We do see 9 workers going down. We're diving in towards the natural, in towards the third base. The Stalkers are having a hard time keeping up with the Stalkers recalling back home. That means that the ground army of Dark also has potential to push out towards some of these fringe bases of YoungZest.
Yeah, the muta's just flying on through. 19 probes going to be going down. That gold base a little bit exposed as well. And now the Lings, the Roaches, and Ravagers going to be joining up too. I mean, YoungZest actually does have a reasonably sizable army, but he needs to put it all together. And you can see just on this map how awkward it is to maneuver the army around.
Yeah, exactly. He's just been pulled this way and that, but now everything has come together. We've consolidated the army, and that's a lot of Stalkers, as you mentioned. Now that YoungZest has been able to bring everything together, he is forcing Dark back.
Yeah, this army is no joke, and YoungZest is moving with confidence here, so Dark's going to have to respect this, and you definitely don't want to be fighting armies with your mutas at this point.
Yeah, again, but we do have 22 mutas. That's a hefty amount of mutas, Papi. That may just be enough to break through all these Stalkers to deal with all this anti-air. The Oracles are finally going to be going down.
This is a scary moment for Dark, though. He's going to have to commit these mutas onto the Stalkers, and the Stalkers in equal numbers are going to trade pretty well. We need to get some Lings on top of them, but the Zealots, they are defending the Stalkers. I'm a little bit worried for Dark here.
Oh my god, 6 mutas do go down. The flock has been whittled away, and we do have to back off. You have to respect the army, and YoungZest, he's breaking on through.
He really is. He's getting on top of this gold base now, and the army of Dark, it can't really get to these Stalkers. The Zealot's going to be pushing back everything on the ground. The base has to be given up here, and I am seriously worried for Dark here. He went for a momentum play, for a sneaky play with these mutas, and looks like YoungZest, he is seizing the moment that he has.
He is. I'm loving these reinforcing zealots as well. There are a lot of Lings here to deal with these Stalkers, but alas, if we do push in together, I don't think Dark can deal with the main army. Not on his own, not with this army. He needs more time to rebuild, to get more Roaches, to get more Lings, but we do see the YoungZest, he's pushing towards these fresh bases.
Yeah, he is, and we have to point out as well, YoungZest, he's on 5 bases, so he doesn't even really necessarily need to kill Dark here. If he just trades, he's going to be in a great position too.
Yeah, we do see that Zealots are going to be distracting the Ling army here of Dark and pushing towards the third base as well. Roach Warren did go down, only Lings to be made.
Yeah, drones are being pulled here. Drones getting pulled into the Zealots. Quite a few of those Zealots going down. The Lings are finally getting on top of these Stalkers. Was this an overextension by YoungZest? It looks like he's still got quite a lot of Stalkers here.
Yeah, as a little Stalkers, that's 26 mutas going ham here, and it looks like we can deal with every single one of these Stalkers. A lot of workers did go down. That's 24 drones falling here, and the Zealots, they're still getting more.
Yeah, Zealot's still getting more. We still have those extra bases for YoungZest. As long as he doesn't take too much damage to this counterattack, he could be in a good position here, but we do see that supply, it's starting to plummet, and the counterattack is really scary here from Dark.
Yeah, exactly. The mass muta gambit, it has paid off. We finally did with the army. We forced back YoungZest, and he may have a large base count, but he still is lacking in those workers. He still has to recover. He is up almost 20 workers compared to his opponents. He did so much damage across the map. Dark, he's got a lot to recover for, but he still has a massive amount of mutas. My god, that's what, almost 30.
Yeah, getting up towards 30 meters, and that kind of count is something that you just cannot deal with if you don't have the production. I mean, even Mass Stalker, that's probably enough meters that they can fight it.
Yeah, exactly. Not alone, the Stalkers, they need support with Phoenixes, with Archons as well, and that is tech that has been neglected, as YoungZest had plenty of time to start working towards something like Archons, but no, he decided to go for the kill, to go for the throat, and alas, now Dark is snowballing out of control.
Yeah, that's right. The Muta's fighting the Stalkers now. Only 6 Stalkers left. Those 2 Phoenix doing everything they can, but they are just tickling the Swarmer there. GG is called, but gee, that was a scary moment though.
GG, well played. Dark will take it. He will take game number 2, redeeming himself and tying it up 1-1. But that was not an easy game to take. That was pretty close. It went down to the wire,
Yeah.
and mad props to YoungZest.
Yeah, that was actually a really good game in the end. It kind of looked like Dark was just going to stomp over him, but YoungZest suddenly just had this massive amount of Stalker Zealot, and it got really scary for a moment there. I think YoungZest might have just very slightly overextended there into the drone line.
Yeah, exactly. I do think that he achieved a lot with that push, right? He ended up killing the goal base, he ended up pushing forward into the Roach Warren, but maybe just pushed forward a little bit too much, as of course Dark was amassing a Ling Muta army, and regardless, a really good performance, and it just makes me that much more excited to see more YoungZest in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a player that we've kind of had our eyes on here for at least the last year, but man, he's getting really good. I mean, a lot of these Chinese Paradosers are getting extremely good, but him in particular, I feel like he wasn't on the radar at all maybe a year or two ago, but man, he's looking good.
He is looking damn good, and here we go. We're getting into our next best of 2. In the bottom left for Starlight Twinkle, it is Wayne.
And in the top right-hand corner, a world champion, it is Oliveira.
And very quickly, the raids back to back are coming in. Oh my god, we're going for a proxy hatchery. So very quickly, a big shout out to Jadolf in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Likewise, hope you had a great ladder session as well. This is a very interesting location for a proxy hatch. I have not seen this before.
Yeah, I think Wayne's about to show us something new. It's going to be a 12 pool with a proxy hatch, and the way that he's got it positioned, I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but there might be some trick to destroying these rocks. I don't know. This is going to be crazy. This is not often that you see this kind of strategy against Terra.
I love this. So a couple of
Yeah.
things. This was a couple of days ago. We actually casted a match where it was a ZVP, and I can't quite remember the Zerg player, but he was focusing down those rocks, and he was trying to send drones over to mine through that location as well, so we could all in. But because the Protoss had controlled the Zelnaga, they actually saw the drones and they deterred them, and it didn't actually come to fruition. Here, this proxy hatchery, I love it because I'm pretty sure the intended purpose after killing the rocks is so that we can actually mine through those minerals that much faster
This is
because of the base location.
There's going to be a Ravager all in. Yeah, there we go. He's taking the double gas already, so it's going to be a Ravager all in here. Looks like he's going to try to just like sneak through that back door with the Ravagers and maybe build up quite a few of them before he attacks as well. So I don't know if Oliveira, did he skip his SCV scout?
I think he did. I mean, you do typically go for greedy openers here on Radisson Station just because you want to cut as many corners as you can. And what I love here the most is that this is what I wanted. After seeing such a peculiar map like this, I'm like, I've been waiting this entire season. I've been waiting. Will someone try to mine through these minerals and go all in? And finally, it's happening.
Wow, and it's a really gritty opening from Oliveira. Goes for the
Mm.
no scout with the SEV, and he's going Reaper straight into Reactor as well. So might have been a gas first. I'm not sure if I missed that, but yeah, this is just an amazing build matchup for Wayne here.
Yeah, it really is. But we'll see if the Reaper can catch wind of what's going on because Oliveira, he's getting across the map and he should be seeing the lack of expansion. Now, he may think that maybe Wayne's own gold base has been taken, but after a couple of moments, Oliveira, he should be going back to check his own gold location.
Yeah, okay. Oliveira scouting around. Hasn't gone up into the main yet. I'm really surprised about that.
Yeah, without scouting the main base, he doesn't know whether it's going to be a Roach Warren, whether it's going to be a fast lair. He doesn't know what exactly is coming his way. He is racing back home, and those rocks are slowly going down.
Yeah,
He's
he's
checking.
starting to work on the rocks now. Okay, there's a bunker going down, so Oliveira definitely knows something is up, and there we go. He does find this, but how much is he going to be able to slow it down, and what can he do about it? There's a tank starting up already. It looks like he went straight tech lab. That's very interesting.
Yeah, tank is on the way. Bunker is on the way as well. The rocks have been knocked down, and with the death of these rocks, we can start working on those mineral patches. As we do not have a second layer behind this, and that tank it's still a ways off the bunker. Can it buy enough time here for the tank to actually allow it to actually produce?
Yes, this one drone has got a pretty decent job ahead of it. It's kind of like we've gone and taken the locksmith and we've asked
Yeah.
him to open the door for all the army men with all the
Yeah.
guns, and they're just kind of patiently waiting instead of breaching. They're just waiting for the locksmith to just
Yeah.
open the lock for them.
He's got his ear like at the door, he's got his stethoscope as well. Like he's just slowly like turning the knob, and here we go. We finally do bust in. The tank has arrived. The boys are being pulled prematurely here to keep the repair up on the bunker.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too great about this for Wayne, but he can still try to get himself up to 7 Ravages, try to one-shot that bunker eventually. But the other thing to point out as well is he did lose an Overlord, which is really punishing for this kind of build.
Yeah, exactly. It is so crisp. We cannot afford to lose things like an Overlord. Bars are going to be connecting, but again, the repairs are looking damn good. As time goes on, we have a Banshee on the way, a 1-1-1 follow. We have a tank on the high ground as well.
Yeah, that drone was very cute just to soak up the first shot from the tank. I really like that, but I think with the tank on the high ground, there just might not be enough to break this bunker. Already 3 Ravages going down, 7 Ravages, kind of that magic number for breaking bunkers, and yeah, it's just not going to happen here. GG is called.
GG and Oliveira. He will hold. He will take the game. And I am curious. I'm very curious if Oliveira has faced that before. Like he was.
Yeah,
he honestly
maybe.
went for. Yeah, he had such a prepared defense. He knew exactly what he needed. He was already throwing down the bunker to protect himself from the pocket base location, straight into tank production. That was really well done.
Oh, no rest for the wicked though. Back in the top left-hand corner, this is Wayne for Starlight Twinkle.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the reigning world champion for Dragon KaiZi Gaming. It is Oliveira.
Yeah, I guess just with that gas first opening, and maybe Oliveira just had some kind of inkling that with that base being missing, that was what was going on, because yeah, he seemed to piece it together pretty quickly for how late he scouted it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It is. Oh, I mean, yeah, like that's why I'm curious. I'm curious if Oliveira he just was able to react in time, or if he had played against that in the past on the ladder. I'll be honest. Again, we cast every single day here on the channel, multiple times a day, and that is the first time that I've seen that specific build on Razet Station. So I'm at least somewhat satisfied. It didn't work, but at least you saw it.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to think about why it's different to just going through the front. I guess if it was hidden for longer,
Yeah.
he would have just won straight up. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah.
It took a while to find out the minerals too. I'm not really sure if that's. I'm not really sure if it's there. I feel like it probably delays it a little bit too much to be worth it. I mean, the Reaper is going to
Yeah.
go across the map and find out, so I'm not sure.
I mean, I feel like the one drone was a little bit lackluster. You were talking about it, right? Like, it felt like we were
Yeah.
delayed quite a lot, only mining through with one drone at a time. I feel like we needed a little bit more urgency there, but I'm not too sure if the build allows you to pull extra workers or to make extra drones to actually mine through those middle patches. So, Yeah, maybe it still needs a little bit of work. Maybe.
I think he needed a mule. That would have helped.
True, true. What he needed to make the build work is for Oliveira to also happen to be at the same time mining through those middle patches as well.
Yeah.
And then he can bust in.
Yeah, I mean, if that was happening, it definitely would have worked really well. Anyway, we're going to be back on Equilibrium, same map that we saw just before with YoungZest against Dark. So this kind of symmetrical map in TVZ has a bit of an interesting dynamic where very early pushes from the Terran can be a little bit scary just because of that push, the close distance between the mains. But as the game goes on, it tends to get better for the Zerg.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As we did have a pool first opener out of Wayne, the Lings, they do get across the map. They are forcing quite a lot of mine time here. They haven't killed anything, but don't make that deceive you. As again, this is quite a lot of mining that just isn't occurring here for these SCVs.
Yeah, it's a nice, calm, well-rehearsed response from Oliveira. It's the kind of thing that we got used to seeing out of him when he did make that World Championship run. Just very clean, well thought out, and obviously drilled responses. So it's nice to see him in that kind of form once again. And yeah, Wayne really not getting much out of this.
Yeah, that's a sentiment that we've been echoing over the past couple of days here, over the past week of StarCraft, is seeing that Oliveira, he's back in action, he is peaking at the moment, and leading into ESL Masters, this is the ideal moment to be peaking as a player, so Oliveira definitely wants to keep an eye on. I know that he's had a little bit of a dip, especially after becoming the world champion, but now I feel like he's back on top.
Yeah, so pretty clean hold straight into the third CC as well. So this is a very nice position to be in as the Terran. Kind of interested to see what he's going to be doing with this Cyclone opener here. This is something that I still haven't really got a good grasp on exactly what people are doing in TVZ. I'm not sure if it's even settled down that much. I mean, something I've been seeing quite a lot is the 2-Rax Reaper build, but with some Cyclones. This I'm not as familiar with.
Yeah. So this is again not mass Slackman by any means. By any means, we do have Sim on the way. We've spoken about this before, but Cure has been quite fond of this, and looks like Oliveira has adopted it as well to go into these Cyclones just for map control, just to support the army. I'm curious if we're going to be doubling down here, and we're actually going to be going for Hellions as well, or if we go for an add-on swap, moving Rax onto that reactor instead. Yeah, we'll see what kind of direction we go here with Oliveira.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. I didn't expect to see so much alliance here on this kind of build out of Terrans. Just because I personally felt like the Cyclones were not going to be that good without speed, but it seems like the utility of just having them early, clearing out some creep, clearing out some overlords, things like that, seems to be pretty highly valued. But anyway, Wayne's going to be going into a Roach Warren here, so I'm not sure what he's seen that's made him want to do that, or if he's just more comfortable playing that way.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit of a roach boy. He's one along the lines of Dark as well. So there we go. Roaches are in production as we speak, which means that these Cyclones are going to be a little bit more ideal. Yes, they are fragile, don't get me wrong, but they can kite. They still have a lot of DPS available, and they should be able to hold on. Wayne is running behind this, but I believe he may even move out with these Roaches.
Yeah, he's got enough to go for a little pressure here, but I mean, having a look at the situation with the workers, Oliver is in a great spot. He also delayed his Raxes a little bit to get the eBays earlier, so he's prioritizing upgrades over production. If he's fine for the next few minutes, and that's going to be something that pays off.
Oh, it really will. And the third base now being taken here from Oliveira. Again, he's not two base all in by any means. He's got 1-1 on the way. The armory as well. No Hellions, so don't have to worry about any kind of Hellbats. And Wayne is coming in for a scout, getting a read and getting an eye on the timing of the third CC.
Just has a little poke around, has a little look-see. Looks like he's going to be taken out by these Cyclones here. But Oliveira overall just playing a pretty passive game. Makes a lot of sense considering how good his start was.
Yeah, exactly. A solid start overall, and now we're just getting into the mid game as well. You mentioned before that, hey, this is not the first time we've seen Equilibrium tonight, and it has been a very popular pick for Zerg players, whether it's ZVP or ZVT. I do think the gold base plays a big factor, and as I say that, Wayne is taking the gold as his fourth.
Would you rather be a mineral miner or a gas miner?
I mean, so if you're mining gas, you're entering the refinery, all right? And for all we know, it's like a mole inside. Like, maybe there's like air conditioning, it's like it's safe in there as well, right? We've seen multiple times SCVs saved by jumping into the refinery as well. So
True.
I feel like you're living the life if you're mining gas.
It's like the Dubai airport. Like time just doesn't really exist in there.
Exactly.
You kind of pop in, you go to the duty free, like you buy like 7 liters of whiskey. You have a little
uh,
nap as well.
yeah, they've got like an international food court, food from like all over the Capulu sector. It's
Mhm.
good stuff, and that's the real reason why when an SUV goes in, they're gone for a little bit. If they wanted to, they could just instantly come back with gas, but they don't. They spend some time in there.
They just weigh it. I remember doing that in hospitality jobs. You kind of have a job and that you know it's normally meant to take a bit longer, so you just kind of
Uh-huh.
like you put it down, like you go on your phone, you just kind of like walk
Yeah,
around a little bit, and like
yeah, yeah.
have a sip of water, and
Mhm.
you take that deep breath, that breath that you take when you don't really want to be there. It's like it's
But
like
it
triple
gets
oxygen.
Yeah, but it gets you through the day, It gets you through the day.
Mhm.
It gets you through life, really, and that's why they live in the life. They're kings amongst the workers.
That's sweet getting paid for doing nothing. Yeah, just tastes better.
Oh my god, but here we go. We are finally going to be moving out here again. Oliveira solid on 3 bases. We do see likewise Wayne. Now the roaches have been revealed. We haven't actually seen too much aggression here, as you mentioned before. A very passive start to the game itself, but immediately, my god, we're making 3 marauders at a time. So that's quite a hefty army.
Yeah, this is cool coming out from Oliveira. Looks like it's a bit of an ARAX variation. It's going to be
Hmm.
Marauder Mine mostly, with a little bit of support from those Cyclones and Hellbats as well. He's going to have a really nasty 2-2 push. So it looks like he is, yeah, completely building
Oh,
around the 2-2 timing, but it's Wayne that's attacking him. I don't know if this is going to work out. He's surrounded on every angle.
yeah, he pushes in, gets completely surrounded here by Oliveira. He's going to eat him up, just take down the entire Road Ravager army, and that is everything that Wayne was building up towards.
Yeah, and I mean, Oliveira's 8-raxing with Marauders. This is
Yeah.
absolutely the perfect kind of army to deal with what Wayne was doing, and Wayne it just gets completely enveloped by the army, and now Oliveira's timing kicks in. Those early eBays that he got before the Raxes, all of that is built around having this fast 2-2, and this is his timing now, which is just going to hit even harder because of that failed attack.
Yeah, big overextension out of Wayne, and now he's going to be punished for it as Oliveira. He sims on forward, takes down the Roaches, takes down the Ravages as well. Wayne on the retreat, but he has already lost so much. The Overlords are exposed. No.
Yeah, the juicy,
Oh,
juicy overlords. That is a
uh,
good feeling here as the town. Those drones are going to escape out the back door here, but I just don't think that he's going to be able to muster enough forces to deal with the 2-2 onslaught of Oliveira, who is just stimming and winning all over him.
oh, massive fungal on the army, but if only there was a follow-up, a second fungal as well. Not as good as the first, but there just isn't enough on the ground. Isn't enough to clean up these Marines and Marauders. GG gets called, and Oliveira will take the 2-0.
Gee, Oliveira, as you pointed out, going for that cure-inspired play with the Cyclones into the big 2-2 timing, and he will put DKZ onto match point.
GG. And I think what was interesting as well is that typically when we see these cyclone-based openers, like you're hunting down overlords, you're vying for map control, you have maybe even a couple of Hellions alongside them to make sure that they're safe against Lings. But Oliveira, he was very passive with them. He did
Mhm.
kill like an overlord and an overseer, but he was just chilling back at home. He was just playing it out very safely, just getting into a secure 3 bases.
Yeah, he killed the overlord that came to him. I mean, Oliveira was just big chilling there. Looks like
Yeah.
he just realized that the opening went so well for him that he didn't really need to do that much else. And yeah, Wayne just maybe misreading the situation a little bit after that.
Yeah, exactly. As you mentioned, because Wayne wasn't able to scout the main base, he didn't know that his opponent was 8-raxing. He didn't know how aggressive Oliveira was being. And pushing into an 8-raxing player is probably what Oliveira really wanted, to have a fight on his terms, on his side of the map, and then snowball out of control.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Oliveira got the best of it, but it looks like he read the situation pretty well as well. So now it's going to be down to ReWhite to 2-0 hero to get Starlight Twinkle back in this.
I'm ready for it. Good that you mentioned that, as we do progress in this series. There's one best of 2 remaining, and the pressure is on ReWhite. He needs to get the 2-0 to force the ace match. A 1-1 is not going to be good enough, and Hero is the best Protoss in South Korea. It's going to be a tough ask, but ReWhite has been looking impressive recently. You said it before, but there's something about these Chinese Protoss players, and ReWhite has been popping off, and I want to make sure that I don't mix this up, but we casted ReWhite, I want to say last week in Kung Fu Cup, and ReWhite, he took down Showtime in a best of 3 in Kung
Okay,
Fu Cup, which was crazy.
nice. Okay, so he's got the PvP chops then.
Yeah,
Was
it,
Showtime playing Protoss the whole time?
He was. He was.
Okay. There you go.
That's why I was shocked. Like at the time, I think I was casting Diego, and then we finished this series. I was waiting for another one. I was like, oh, Showtime versus ReWhite. Okay, yeah, we'll just jump in that. We'll see how it goes. You know, best of luck to ReWhite. And he took the series in the end, which was shocking. And yeah, I'm just double checking. It was in Kung Fu Cup. He took down Showtime 2-1. And what was scary is that because we were lucky enough to cast it, he didn't cheese. Like it wasn't any kind of like craze like proxy build or like a 2-base all in. Like no, it was pretty straight up, and it was mainly just out positioning Showtime even with Blink Stalkers, and yeah, getting the wins. Impressive.
Cool. Okay, yeah, that was my next question. I was going to ask how he did it. What was the way that he went about it? Yeah, that's really cool. I feel like Hero's pretty unlikely to give him a standard game, but I mean, definitely good to know that he feels comfortable in one.
Yeah, I think that's important to take note of is that one, like when you say that a player had won in a PvP, it's like you can interpret that in a couple of different ways. There are definitely different ways to win a PvP. But again, it was just straight up play against Showtime, and Hero is a very different Protoss player compared to Showtime. As you mentioned, the reason why I love casting like Hero versus Creator or Hero versus Classic or Korean PvP in general is just because of how chaotic it can get.
Yeah, they play crazy, especially Hero. I mean, Hero's got his own style.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be a cool one to see. Is there much else you've seen in ReWhite? Has he been playing in the qualifiers as well?
He came close. He came so close to making it into the main events, but he just barely didn't in the end. So a little bit unfortunate, but ReWhite, he still has a lot of potential as a player, which is why I was so excited to see him in Kung Fu Cup. So yeah, we'll see if he can pop off like his compatriot, like YoungZest.
He's got a juice box.
Oh, let's go.
Yo. Is that allowed?
The power of the juice box. Also, I want to quickly say a big shout to Rufio. Rufus, we missed him last week, man. We missed him last week. It's good to see him. Good to see him.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Yeah.
And he wants food. Did you ever have juice boxes at school or like roll-ups? Were you a roll-up kid?
Oh wait, what kind of remember the roll-ups? They're a couple of years into it, roll-ups, they released like the roll-ups reels, right? They were like these little like coiled roll-ups.
I don't know, the OG ones, like the mats, like the ones that you open up, the free roll-ups.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
Did you get them? Yeah, they were kind of one of those things where like I didn't get them, so they seemed amazing to me. But like the kids who actually got them, and like when I actually eventually got my hands on them, they're not that good.
Yeah, they're not. I was the same way.
It's a good lesson in life. It's actually better if you don't get what you want.
It's true. In the top left, we have ReWhite. Oh, sorry. Wait, what?
In the top left is Hero. In the bottom right is ReWhite, and the cameras are wrong.
Okay. I was very confused.
Yeah. And the name plates are flipped.
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll get there.
Well, it's fine.
Everything's flipped. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know who's who actually. Okay, it looks like ReWhite is blue. Is at the bottom. Like it just there we go. So we're getting into this PvP as you're mentioning, and oh, Hero and ReWhite already going for some different openers.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like ReWhite doesn't really want to go for that one gate expand that's more common on ramp maps. I often feel like that indicates that the player is less confident, but we'll see if he has anything special in store.
Yeah, so because of this double gate opener out of ReWhite, this can lead into an all-in. That's what's terrifying about this. It doesn't have to, it could also lead into a 2-gate opener into a delayed expansion, which would set him behind, which is less than ideal. Or we can just commit to the all-in. Hero on the other side going for a gate expand, going for an economic setup here. And yeah, we'll see if Hero can keep up with potentially the aggression of ReWhite.
Yeah, I feel like this happens a lot in PvP where the stronger player sort of eggs on the weaker player to all in them. I feel like we see that a lot in the first game of a series. But yeah, I don't know. It's not always necessarily the case. And I didn't catch it. Did ReWhite actually go for double gate?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the second gate coming. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like we don't actually see this that much. Like just a straight up 2-gate against 1 gate.
Yeah, I'm reminded of I don't know if you're familiar with Trigger. Trigger, very often he actually goes for 2 gate openers, even on maps like Side Delta as well. But Trigger
Oh,
also
okay.
mixes it up. Like sometimes he goes
Yeah.
all in, sometimes he goes for an expansion. He can be a difficult player to read, as
Mhm.
Hero is going for a straight up Gate Cyber expand before Stargate.
Yeah, it's good that you point that out because it does seem to make him a little bit more vulnerable. But ReWhite is not going for a proxy robo or anything like that. He is just going to be going for a bit more of a standard play here.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
those
goes for
colors are so confusing.
Feel my pain, Bobby. Feel my pain. Yeah, ReWhite, he is going to be going for a Stargate opener himself. Back at home, as you mentioned, this means that this is not an all-in. This is aggressive. You can see that we have two
Oh,
adepts. No, the adept does
oh, that was
barely
so
sneak
close.
in. Ah.
That's such a cute play from Hero, bringing his own probe in to block the way for the adept and almost closes the door behind him. That would have been absolutely devastating if he got to pull that off. But at least he keeps the units of ReWhite back at home.
He does keep them at home. He also got a full scout of the main. He gets eyes on the Stargate as well. He knows to be ready for the eventual Oracle. And what I was
Yeah.
getting at is that, again, hyper aggression out of ReWhite. Not all in. He's still expanding, but he's looking for economic damage. And oh my god, Hero, he knows he's ready for the Adepts and the Oracles.
That's a really cool player. But yeah, it looks like Hero, he's pieced together exactly what's going on. He gets that battery down really early, which is important because it needs to finish so it can be healed by the other battery.
It's true. The battery on battery action, we do love to see it. And again, with a full wall off, it means the Adepts cannot break through. We have additional Stalkers on the way. We could even
Oh,
go for a Phoenix, and there it is. Hero going for a Phoenix first.
look at the timing. It's so
Ah,
clean.
uh-huh.
Juicy.
They're just giving each other their beams, Papi, as they're keeping each other alive. I believe we have made the first Oracle. I believe it is, yeah, moving towards the main base as well. But the Phoenix, sorry, that's fake Phoenix. Phoenix is on the way, and it does arrive.
It's a real. It's as real as it gets. It's going to be a
Oh,
recall. So he does bring it back, and that's going to be able to deal with this Zealot. But you can see the little bits of aggression by Hero as well, just bringing back units have been really instrumental in making this even more difficult for ReWhite. I mean, Hero's looking fantastic.
exactly. For ReWhite to invest heavily into all these adepts and into the oracles as well, and for him to not get any economic damage is brutal, and it is setting him behind as a result. ReWhite is going for a proxy pylon. We do have a Twilight Council on the way for Hero. Are we going to go for a proxy Dark Shrine, as ReWhite already has his own Twilight Council as well?
Yeah, I mean, this is cheeky. Hero's got his robo coming already. It looks like, man, Hero's just actually reading this game so well. He's all over everything. And these Phoenix are going to be able to run in. They're going to be starting to look for a third. And when they don't see it, he's going to piece together that something's missing.
Yeah, there it is. The Proxy Dark Shrine is on the way for ReWhite. As you yourself mentioned, we have a Robo on the way for Hero. So he knows that really the only thing that can catch him off guard is going to be DTs, and he will have detection as the Observer is already on the way.
I still feel the roll up on my teeth. You know how it gets like, you get the little chunks stuck in your molars?
Uh-huh. Yeah, like it's one of those things where likewise I never had roll-ups myself. I will, but you know the ad is like burned into my skull. The ad of like fruit roll-ups. I don't know if you remember like the kids like making them. It didn't make any sense in my brain now that I think about it, but yeah, it's just like a hard like candy substance, and it's just
Yeah.
it's not easy to eat. Like it's
I
it's
remember that there was an ad, but I can't remember the actual
okay.
ad at all. I mean,
Okay.
I've fried my brain light. I can't
Uh,
remember many things.
You're like, I can remember Terran builds, Poppy. That's all I've got
Yeah,
left.
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
okay.
god.
Quick reactions from Hero. Immediately goes for the cancel as he sees those units coming in, knowing that he can't really hold, but he's going to be going for a proxy nexus at the proxy of ReWhite.
Okay, we have quite a lot going on here. As yeah, we are taking a base towards the top right. He hasn't seen the Dark Shrine, by the way, but ReWhite does see the expansion. So,
That's really unfortunate, actually.
that is a little bit unfortunate as we have Glaives on the way. So ReWhite is going for an all-in at this point. Glaive Adepts do not scale well into the later stages of the game. He does have a third Nexus on the way, but I believe he's going to be doubling down on aggression. Meanwhile, Hero is just building up its forces, and the DTs, they haven't been able to do anything yet.
There we go. The Stalkers do reveal that the base has been spotted. Hero's not going to be too happy with that, but he quickly cancels. I do like the Glaives as well. It's something I've been seeing a bit more in PvP, and it seems to work quite well against armies that have Immortals in them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Glaive Adepts, they don't kill Immortals very quickly, but they also don't get killed very quickly either. They're just amazing at just tanking so many Immortal shots and Stalker shots as well. But here we go. Hero is pushing out. He's looking to lay siege upon that third base. And even though we have Glaives on the way, I don't think we have many Adepts as we do blink in.
Oh, yeah, here getting really aggressive using those Phoenix as well just to lower the DPS of the army there. The Immortal does get sniped down, though, by ReWhite. Maybe a little bit careless by Hero, but he might have enough anyway. The probes have to be pulled right now.
Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Stalkers are being focused down one after the other. Good target firing coming in from Hero. The shield batteries, they aren't done yet. There were two on the way. They're going to finish up after the fight does conclude. And it looks like ReWhite is going to be able to hold on. But he did lose quite a lot of workers in the process.
Yeah, he loses a few, but not an awful trade, really. The second Immortal does come in, though, but the batteries, they are going to be finished here. What is going to be the choice for Hero of what to focus down? I do think he needs to get out of there now that the batteries are done, and yeah, he is going to agree and back off. Does he have his own third coming?
He does, thankfully. It's on the way, but it's still not done. Not done yet, so the pressure is on Hero to do even more damage. He has that first Immortal. He has reinforcements on the way. He's getting ready for that third wave of aggression. And he has options. He can go towards the third, or he can even push towards the natural as he does blink on top of the army once again.
Yeah, big aggressive blink. He is one-shotting these Stalkers through the shield battery. That overcharge is not going to do anything to help out here for ReWhite. Looks like that one Stalker is just going to be hanging on there for dear life, but there's just not that much here to save him from the onslaught of Hero.
Yeah, the control, the blinks are just a little bit too good here. As the prism goes down, there are barely any Stalkers remaining. Overcharges on cooldown. It was already spent. It was already made use of. And the shield batteries, they are out of energy.
Yeah, the Phoenix makes quick work of that prism, and Hero, he is not messing about. Blinks on top, and it takes out ReWhite. That is going to be Dragon KaiZi Gaming taking the set.
GG, well played. As you mentioned, ReWhite, he needed the 2-0 to force the ace match, but alas, Hero will take the first game. Wasn't the easiest game. There was a bit of a back and forth between the players, at least a little bit, but it was a rough start. It was a rough start for ReWhite. The Adepts not doing much. You know, even towards the end there, Glaive Adepts, we didn't even have any Adepts to make use of the upgrade either. The Oracle being shut down. The DT is not doing anything either. There was just so much working against ReWhite.
Yeah, I mean, the killer instinct of Hero is absolutely legendary. As soon as he saw that those batteries weren't finished, he got those trades going nice and early, and because of that, he was able to jump in later on.
Real feel. Oh my god. Is he getting food tonight? Is he getting a snack?
Yeah, he'll get food at some point. He's being good. He's hamming it up for the camera. He can get a treat.
Well, let's go, Papi. Let's go. That's what the people are here for. Papi, whenever you're gone, everyone's like, yo, where's Rufus? Where's Rufus, Papi? Where's Rufio? Where's the cat? Where's the fluffy boy?
He's just like, living his life. He'll be alright. I think he's falling.
Oh, be careful, Papi. Be careful.
Yeah,
As we are getting ready for game number 2 here, and ReWhite's map of choice is going to be Alcyone.
That's what we're going with. Alcyone.
Oh, what does your Italian heritage tell you to say?
Alcohol.
Alcohol there, Papi. Oh, okay.
Al Capone.
That's still my
Cyclone.
favorite.
Al Cyclone.
Oh, made Al the Cyclone. True. Let's go. What does Rufus think? What's it called?
I don't know. Is this map good? I haven't played on it.
That's such a vague question. What does that mean?
Just answer it however you feel is right.
It's okay. It's in the top right-hand corner. We have a Starlight Twinkle. It is ReWhite.
And in the bottom left hand, it is Hero.
Yeah, an interesting map choice here from ReWhite. Now, I could be wrong when it comes to the numbers, but I'm pretty sure the rush distance by ground is actually quite long on this map. So a longer rush distance, lots of bases to be taken as well. You can end up fortifying yourself, getting up to a 4-base economy without too much issue. That is a bit of a trend. There are quite a lot of maps where you can set up on 4 bases quite well and get into a longer game. But I don't know if that's really too applicable to PvP, just because of how aggressive you can be in this matchup.
But how does it make you feel?
How do I feel?
Yeah, when you look at this map, what What flavor of food does it remind you of?
What flavor of food? Um, okay, it's the kind of flavor that like it's got some spice, it's got some kick to it. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's a little bit fancy.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Yeah. To me, it kind of feels like, you
Uh-huh.
know, when cheese gets sweaty? Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Like
I
when you
think
have
I
like a brick of cheddar and you kind of
uh-huh.
leave it outside for a bit too long and it starts to get the little like droplets of sweat on it.
It starts like huffing and puffing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is the thing, right? Like cheese kind of does that. Like
No.
it
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it gets a bit moist.
Yeah. It does. It gets very moist, Fluffy.
Yeah. It's like a salty cheddar,
I was
but
gonna say so. This.
it's gone a little bit bad.
So never mind.
Okay. You got it. I won't mind.
when you look at this map, Fluffy, what do you feel? You feel moist, Fluffy. Oh, that's good.
Yes. But in an uncomfortable.
Oh god.
Not how I want to feel when I'm watching StarCraft.
It's okay. You'll like it, Bob. You'll like it. It is gonna be a double stalker opener. Oh my god, we have a fast robo coming up from ReWhite. Oh my.
Okay, yeah, both players going to be going for 2-gate openers, so here not going for the 1-gate expand again.
Hmm.
Yeah, ReWhite going for a robo at home is definitely unusual.
Yeah, so this could lead into a one-base all-in, especially with a third gateway. We do have two adepts initially. Meanwhile, Hero, he throws down his own robo as well. Oh my god. There's a
Did
third
Hero
gate.
see this, or is he just making a hard read?
He's making a hot made his game set. He can feel the moist. The
They're both
perspiration
going
in the
for
air.
pretty much the exact same thing. It's 3-gate robo on both sides, and
Yeah.
I feel like 3-gate robo is something that's really gone out of style in PvP as well.
It has. It's not too common of a build for those wondering. This is essentially an all-in. We did see a War Prism on the way, but no, ReWhite, he switches gears. Instead, he goes for an Immortal Sentry instead. Interesting decision here. Eventually, this will lead into a War Prism, but ReWhite, or again, both players are just going all in against each other.
Yeah, looks like neither of them wanting to pull the trigger on all-out aggression. I did kind of get the impression from ReWhite that his build's almost a blind counter to Hero's aggression or Hero's potential aggression. So yeah, a little bit confused. I'm not sure how Hero's going to adapt to this.
Yeah, we'll see here. We'll see. As the adepts stay shaded across the map, they see the lack of expansion, but they do not see the robo. Likewise, Hero is not fully aware of his opponent's opener. Now, what's important is that these builds, they are being executed in different ways, in different manners, and going for a robo like this, going for an immortal first like this does mean that we do have a better defensive position for ReWhite. Meanwhile, Hero is going for the more traditional 3-gate robo into that War Prism, into a gateway army across the map.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like if Hero doesn't piece this together and he does get a little bit too aggressive, he could be in a lot of trouble. So I'm sure he has some continuation planned here, but I actually really like how ReWhite's playing this out.
100%. So ReWhite, he's only setting adepts across the map. The adepts are designed to shut down the economy and to cripple the bases of a Hero. Meanwhile, Hero is sending everything else across the map instead. He just have 3 sentries. A lot of force fields are available, but he just now is going to see the Immortal.
Yeah, I mean, I actually almost feel like this is a hard counter strategy coming out from ReWhite, but if that Immortal can't get shots onto those Stalkers before they start taking down buildings, he could be in a lot of trouble.
He really could. A little bit of mistargeting as well. One of the Stalkers did go down for ReWhite. Gateways are exposed as well. The adepts are coming in, but we have 3 Stalkers back at home to defend.
Yeah, Hero in position. There's a battery there as well. Those adepts, if they sync up their shots, they will be able to take down some of these probes, and that's exactly what they are starting to do with 5 of those probes going down, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Looks like we are having some more force fields coming down, just trying to keep the army of Hero away from those gateways, but already one has gone down.
Yeah, 1 gateway has fallen, but again, with this economic damage being done, Hero, he's falling behind in the economy. He's losing a lot of probes.
Yeah, so ReWhite, he is getting a little bit of damage done. He is ahead on workers now. It's kind of going to come down to who can break through first, who is going to be the first to expand as well. But I feel like ReWhite, as he's going for this third Immortal, chronoing that out as well, it's probably going to be on Hero to try to defend here.
Yeah, exactly. Soon, ReWhite is going to break free from his from his main base. He's going to be able to push out across the map. Now, of course, there is still a War Prism threatening the main bases of ReWhite. And here we go. Hero, he's going into the main base. He's going for the mineral line.
Yeah, there we go. Those 4 stalkers, they will be able to one-shot probe. So that's a nice job there from Hero to just get a little bit extra harass going down. He does get the prism out of there as well.
Yeah, it does recall the hell out of there. He did get 4 workers. ReWhite now falling slightly behind in the economy, slightly behind in the overall worker count. And now the question becomes, does anyone expand from here? Hero, my god, he's got quite a hefty army.
Yeah, Hero going to be taking out his own gateway so that he can get out of there. And it looks like he wants to try to meet ReWhite out on the map. But, I mean, if he isn't going to be taking this natural, I don't think ReWhite necessarily has to try to force his way up the ramp.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go into the attack again. Hero is up in army supply. He has the larger army. He throws down the expansion, throws down that natural, and the armies they're going to be meeting here in the center. The Immortals of Hero are not here.
Yeah, Hero's going to be the defender now. He does have, it looks like the Immortals are in the Prism, and that is with the army, but it's 2 Immortals to 3. There's a lot of adepts here. They could potentially break through that pylon. Force field's going down on both sides.
Forces are being thrown down. The Immortals, they do juggle on in as well. How good is the juggling from both players as well? How good is the control? 1 Immortal goes down for ReWhite.
Yeah, Immortal goes down for ReWhite. Both of those Immortals very low. The Prism's in trouble now as well. Looks like the Prism goes down as well as those Immortals. Both Immortals on both sides going down, but there is still 1 left for Hero, and that is going to clean up the rest of the Stalkers. The micro from Hero just too good here.
Yeah, it was so close, but in the end, Hero will barely come out on top in this fight. ReWhite, he lost 1 Immortal too quickly. GG gets called, and Hero will take the 2-0.
Very impressive play from Hero. Definitely the most convincing game of these. Sorry, the most convincing match of these 3.
Definitely a solid performance there out of Hero. I mean, to be fair, Oliveira also looking quite strong as well against Wayne.
Mhm.
To give credit where credit is due. But regardless, GG, well played. Dragon KaiZi Gaming that will take the series overall. But a big shout out to Starlight Twinkle and a special shout out to YoungZest. I feel like he was a bit of a star performer in that series, and his team may not have won, but definitely putting his name on the map.
Yeah, fantastic job by YoungZest. That was really cool to watch.
Definitely. Meanwhile, we're going to be going on a short break. Take this moment to join F91 and Xiaose as they're going to be eating some spicy beef, some spicy bones. So yeah.
Ah, I thought they were going to have cereal. They look like the way that they're sitting looks like they want to eat some cereal.
It does. It looks like we're gonna pour some milk, but that's not
Yeah.
milk in those packages, Poppy. There's
Okay.
something else coming out. So yeah, everyone enjoy yourselves. Take this moment to stretch your roaches, hydrate your hydras, cuddle your carriers, and marinate your marauders because in a couple of minutes we'll be back with our next series.
See you soon.